Right, in this video we're going to multiply and divide rational expressions, okay? Now, when you multiply fractions, it's numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator, okay? So that's how we get 15 over 28 here. When you divide fractions, we're just going to convert it to a multiplication problem, okay? So it's 3/4, which doesn't change. Remember, we changed division to multiplication, and we multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to flip 5 over 7 and make it 7/5, okay? And then we use the same rule that we did before. Numerator times numerator gives me 21. Denominator times denominator gives me 20. Now, neither of these fractions could be simplified, but you always want to try to simplify in the last step if you can, okay? So in number 9, I've got this fraction times this fraction, okay? I'm going to want to factor where I can, so this denominator can be factored. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and multiply numerator times numerator. I'm going to factor in the denominator. This is x plus 2, x minus 2. That's where this comes from. And then I'm going to put the 16x out front. Okay? So now I want to cancel out factors that can be canceled out. All right? So first off, this 4 over 16 can simplify to 1 over 4. I'm going to do that later. These x's cancel out. They're both factors that can be canceled. And these x plus 2's cancel out. They can be canceled out, okay? I'm not going to do the domain here. We've done the domain in 2 previous videos, but if you want to think about what domain here, you can do that. So once I simplify, again, 4 over 16 simplifies to 1 over 4. So my numerator, the only thing that's left is 1. And my denominator, the 16 simplified to 4, and then this factor x minus 2 came in, okay? So the product of these 2 fractions is 1 divided by 4 times the quantity x minus 2. Okay, number 10, I'm going to factor this numerator, this denominator, and this numerator. Okay, this denominator cannot be factored. All right, and then we're going to see what happens. So this gives me x plus 3 times x minus 1. This gives me x plus 4 squared. Okay, and now when I simplify or factor this other part of the product, I get 3 times x plus 4 over x minus 1. Okay. Now, let's cancel where we can. So those x plus 4s, I have one of those here. I have 2 of those here. I'm only going to get rid of one of those, okay? And then it looks like the x minus 1s can cancel, okay? All right. So what's left in the numerator is 3 times x plus 3, and in the denominator is x plus 4. All right, so that's the product when we multiply these 2 rational expressions. Again, if you want to think about domain, you can go through that process. Okay? Dividing fractions. Same thing. We're going to factor. Get x plus 5, x minus 5 with the numerator. I get x plus 4, x minus 4. Okay? And I can't factor any of these, so that stays the same. Now, this stays the same. I'm going to change division to multiplication, and I'm going to take the reciprocal of this rational expression. So I'm going to rewrite that as a multiplication problem. Notice, this part didn't change. Division becomes multiplication, and we take the reciprocal. So it becomes x plus 4 over x plus 5. Okay? So let's see what cancels out. The x plus 4s cancel. The x plus 5s cancel. Okay? And you can see my answer. What I'm left with is x minus 5 over x minus 4. So when I divide these 2 rational expressions, I'm left with a pretty little simple x minus 5 over x minus 4. All right? In number 12, same thing. We're going to factor this. We're going to factor this. And we're going to go from there, okay? Denominator is difference of squares. That can factor as x plus 2, x minus 2. I can factor both of these quadratic trinomials. So it's going to be x minus 4, x plus 1 in the numerator, x plus 3, x plus 2 in the denominator, okay? So now I want to change division to multiplication, and I'm going to take the reciprocal of this expression. So notice that the x plus 3, x plus 2 is now the numerator. The x minus 4, x plus 1 is now the denominator. All right? So let's see what we can cancel out. Looks like the x plus 2s can go. Looks like the x minus 4s can go. No other factors in common, so my answer, my quotient here is going to be x plus 3 in the numerator divided by x minus 2 times x plus 1, okay? And that's how you multiply and divide rational expressions.